This is the most impressive woodsman I've ever seen. He built his forest shelter atop a centuries-old tree. He wrapped a spiral stair around its roots like a ramp. Coming home this way, thrill level off the charts. Back home, he's the third brother in the family, so everyone just calls him Number 6. Since childhood, he dreamed of a sky-high forest house. Now he owns several hardware stores, and he's chosen the hill behind his home to build the most luxurious treehouse around. He hauled in a load of lumber and kicked off the build. First time doing this, choosing the spot was the hardest part. But his eye is sharp, he found a majestic old tree, trunk nearly 50 centimeters across. Location picked, Number 6 didn't waste a second. He unloaded the boards in a flash, not to start the cabin yet, but to spare his beloved truck from scratches. Rough where it should be, refined where it counts, he keeps only the essentials, stripping off useless bark all around. For the first stair, he chose the firmest spot on the trunk, split and shaped with an axe, kept perfectly at 90 degrees. As a hardware shop owner, he of course uses heavy-duty angle brackets at every joint. Meticulous as ever, he checks with a spirit level, holding the tolerance within 0.1 degrees. With builder's buff activated, even with his hefty frame, the stair doesn't budge an inch. Once the first step is locked in, the rest of the installation points follow the same measured spacing, repeat the process, and climb. From the second step upward, he switches to angled braces for extra strength. He miter cuts each end so the brace hugs the trunk perfectly. First treehouse, sure, but his technique reads like a textbook. After every adjustment, he removes any hint of hidden risk. With these tread notches, you could climb 100 times a day and never worry about slipping. Still not satisfied with stiffness, he adds blocking to the front of each support, beefing it up again. Double insurance, peace of mind with every step. He personally load tests each section because out here, there's no second pair of hands. Repetition might be dull, but Number 6 genuinely enjoys the craft. By the time the spiral reached chest height, day 1 of the forest treehouse build was wrapping up. But first, he had to fix his wagon's front end. True to form, he made a wheel as unconventional as he is. He sawed off a round from a nearby log, sketched a circle, shaved and chopped, trimmed and fitted, and wedged it snug into the axle frame. Who can argue with that? Number 6, you've got my respect. Most importantly, it actually rolls. On his second trip to the site, he brought a pulley lock. He once worked campus jobs as a cleaner, so threading a full safety harness is second nature. It looks chaotic at a glance, but every tool ends up exactly where it should. With skills like this, he wouldn't waste them on a random odd job he's built for forest builds. His frame looks bulky, but on snow, he moves surprisingly light. In the blink of an eye, he's reached the final stair of the snowy spiral. The climb has drained him, and now he can barely swing the axe with numb hands. But no matter how tired, the staircase must be solid in winter. He uses oversized bolts on the angled brackets, built to last through freeze and thaw. When the last screw tightens home, Number 6 finally exhales. He unclips the taut safety harness. Not far from the snow house site, a river runs, with wild hares about and even sika deer. For winter watching or hunting, it's the perfect place. The riverside view enchants him, even in the cold. With a shovel, he carves a tiny island out in the icy floe, a bug-free spot with frost for a net and wind for incense. He drags a log over and sets up a winter grill by the river. Once the food is prepped, a log burner is a must in the snow. His stove is the upgraded kind, more vents, hotter flames. It takes a moment for the fire to catch. In the heat of summer, you'd swim, but in winter, a splash of ice water snaps you awake. The blaze is roaring. He sets flat stones as a trivet, turning it into a stable snowfield walk station. As the aroma rolls across the White Valley, Number 6 tucks into a hearty, all-you-can-eat winter feast. Half a month later, the squared timbers he ordered finally arrive. He can't wait, loads them up, and heads for the snowy treehouse site. Same place, same crisp winter smell. With a blueprint in his head, he pushes hard to move in before deep winter. To set a base for a treehouse in snow, he first trims away extra stubs. Even the drone lends a hand, scouting up and down for the first footing point. With aerial guidance, he secures the first beam without a hitch. He plans to live in this snow treehouse long-term, so every timber and every bolt is top-grade winterproof, windproof, overbuilt. Call it his superpower: overbuild everything. As he lines up the second beam, a thought hits. If he cuts a locking groove, will it bite tighter against winter sway? He hesitates. Snow makes mistakes costly, so he posts for advice in his feed. Village buddy Goo Dan, worried he'll slip again, shows up to help. With 2 pairs of hands, the second foundation beam slides in true, installed perfectly. Relieved, Number 6 finds his winter groove again. He even saws off a stray branch to steady his nerves. With the useless forks trimmed, he wastes no time back to work, alone with the snow and the tree. Before nightfall, he wants the winter base framed out. At the joints, he still uses angle brackets, partly to stand behind his own hardware, partly because, at cost, it's a steal, practical and cheap. Since hauling from ground to snow height is a pain, he rigs a simple hoist and lock. Now he won't need to climb up and down in the cold. With the final screw driven tight, the snowy treehouse foundation is wrapped for now one more solid step toward a home in the winter canopy. Even Gudan's dog heard about the snowy project and came running to join the fun, curious to see what all the commotion was about. A few days later, the weather turned rain began to pour. Worried that the treehouse might be leaking, Number 6 rushed through the snow to check, but the downpour was too heavy, forcing him to build a quick shelter from the storm. He rested there for a moment. As he stared into the white haze, hail suddenly began to fall. When the storm finally passed, his hands and feet were stiff with cold. He quickly lit a fire to warm up, hanging his soaked clothes to dry by the flames. Once the sky cleared again, number 6 got back to work. Worried he might slip off the icy stairs one day, he decided to build a safety railing all around. The branches he'd cut earlier would do just fine, waste nothing in the wild. Meticulous as always, he measured every post with a tape, making sure each one matched within 0.1 millimeter. When he couldn't find a place to secure them, he drilled holes right into the steps, bolting the bottoms tight. Surprisingly, the railing held firm, solid as a winter pine. Then came the endless rhythm of repetition. The natural curve of each branch fit perfectly into the snowy stairs shape. You've got to admire his cleverness, truly a craftsman's mind. Dusk fell before he knew it, and he had to call it a day. By the next morning, the sun was already high when he finally returned to the snowy forest. He'd stayed up too late, binge-watching mountain-building videos all night. Some of the branches atop the railing still needed cutting, but darkness came again fast. At first light, he tidied up every stray knot. And when the final camera dropped into place, the wild treehouse staircase was officially complete. To celebrate, number 6 trekked through the snow and found a patch of frost-grown ironleaf, a wild plant ready for harvest after 2 winters. Back home, he pulled out his precious pork stash, peeled the frozen rind away, and sliced it thin. Good meat deserves good seasoning. He crushed spices fine and spread them evenly, rubbing the mix into every snowy white strip. Once marinated, it was ready for the hot pan. He tossed in a mountain of vegetables, then a bowl of red sorghum rice. Nothing fancy, just hearty and warm. Who taught him this kind of cooking? An hour later, the scent of the feast filled the snowy woods. Number 6 served himself a brimming bowl, sprinkled scallions on top, and dug in with pure joy. Knowing the future walls would need solid framing, he picked a timber to match the size exactly. He dug a hole deep into the frozen ground. This pillar would be the last proud stand of the base. He carved a groove at one end, so it would lock perfectly with the foundation. Since it would sit half buried in snow and soil, he coated it with preservative to fend off insects and rot. With Gudan's help, the massive pillar stood upright, fitting the snowy base like a glove. Safety secured, number 6 could finally relax. With no more worries, he began laying the floor of his winter treehouse. Lay them one by one, simple, steady, winter-proof. For him, this kind of small task is downright effortless. For the final stretch of the spiral stairs, number 6 skips wide treads. Instead, he pins short rounds upward, step by step. Simple, yet safety comes first in the snow. Otherwise, one slip, and you're purple and blue all winter. To prevent missteps, he adds a full guardrail. As night falls, the day's snowy work winds to a close. With sunrise, he's right back, driving winter-hardened screws. He's racing to finish before deep freeze sets in. Even beams that weigh tons seem to float in his hands now. Today's job is straightforward. Just take the planks and line them up, one after another. Where the edges angle, he pulls out Gudan's best cutter, the eating tool of choice, and trims to that winter curve, so each board kisses the trunk, gapless. Just then, Gudan crackles in over the radio. Caught red-handed, number 6 can only laugh it off. What a character, that guy. Half a day later, the floor is mostly done across the snowy boughs, just a few edge scraps left, eager to try free fall. Next, he begins locking the treehouse frame. Working at the rim, he's extra cautious. His standard? Every winter joint must be true, within 0.1 millimeter. Only then do the brackets sit clean, and each post stands handsome in the frost. For walls, he simply uses floorboards tongue to groove, sealing tight against wind leaks and drifting snow. This dry fit method, pure number 6. Gotta say it works beautifully. Down below, Gu Dan has pre-built sections while he mounts panels up top, saving a heap of cold time. By afternoon, Snowlight softens. To thank his brother in arms, he gathers a pile of wild game. Gu Dan, face stern from the chill, quietly slices mushrooms. Once the fire's up, into the pan it all goes. Is that really edible? Gu Dan keeps cutting potatoes in silence. A good toss for color looks heartier already. Finally, onions join the fry, guaranteed to fill you up in winter. Feeling a bit guilty, number 6 sets a kettle over the coals and brews his long-saved tea. This mystery buffet finally finishes after half an hour. 2 men, 2 minds, 4 eyes down, they eat in quiet warmth. Before they know it, evening snows in. Number 6, having saved on dinner, happily builds a campfire and strums a guitar to match the mood. No one's sure what song it is, but in this snowy glow, the treehouse clearing feels calm and blessed. After the first autumn harvest tea, he finally has time to keep building his luxury snow treehouse. He fells a stout tree as a warm-up cut. If it can't thrive through winter, let it stand in service of the home. He slices it into 2 perfect lengths, ready to process the knotted sections cleanly. Out of respect for the tree brother, he leaves the bark on winter character intact. Next, he gathers leftover offcuts from the treehouse, build winter thrift at its finest. Big-hearted but frugal, if a plank can be saved, it will be saved. Quality control is strict, not only holding tolerances to within 0.1 millimeter in the cold, but also fixing each timber at the exact snowy mark. He embodies meticulous to the letter even in frostbite weather. No wonder everyone tips a hat to number 6. He scores the layout, then carves a tidy winter notch, so each short member locks in tight under the chill. Joined as one, it becomes a rugged, wild, solid wood ladder. Looks perfect for the backcountry snow vibes and all. Since the ladder will serve to roof the shelter in winter, he has a sudden idea. Hammer an angle plate into a custom shape, bolt it to the ladder's crown so it bites firmly onto the wallboards, even icy. After sacrificing one unlucky action cam, the ladder proves its worth at last, stable enough for agile winter work aloft. Boards that rise past the frame are now easy to trim flush in the cold. He secures the gable sections too, locking them solid, and what do you know? Everything already looks cleaner in the snow. Then he handpicks true beams of the beams, fine stock for the winter roof joists. With this ladder rig, even 2.5-ton timbers seem to float onto the frame solo in the snow. He still uses angle brackets for fastening, skipping fussy mortise and tenon work, mainly because, well, he never learned it. Halfway through, he remembers the wall cladding isn't finished. So he swings back to paneling. Habit could be better, buddy, next time. Sequence. As dusk ices the treetops, he fits the last wallboard. At first light, number 6 is back with his pack to mount more roof joists. The trunk blocks his path in places, so the roofing goes slower than hoped. Everything gets measured the winter way precise to 0.1 millimeter. He even designs a small overhang for sunrise, snow, light, so each morning he'll wake bathed in winter sun. Gaps are still large for now, so to honor the budget, he lays rough planks waist knot, want knot in the snow. With that base in place, he starts waterproofing. Choosing shingle-like branch tiles built to face harsh winters, they shrug off weather, heat, and sleet and keep their color through the storms. In the wild, they're a top-tier snowproof, waterproof choice, perfect for a winter treehouse roof. By full dark, a surprise delivery arrives, a second-hand wooden door, deep red and oddly perfect for this snowy perch. He calls it a day. Back home, his trail cam reveals plenty of wildlife nearby. Planning to overwinter here, he decides to befriend the neighbors, presses leftover salt into a block, and sets it in a hay feeder he'd made earlier. On the way back, he spots a wind-felled tree. A good deed calls out comes the chainsaw. After some careful work, the stump becomes a hollowed cradle, perfect for tucking that salt lick inside for winter visitors on the trail. The luxury treehouse's snowy silhouette is now largely complete. Number 6 gazes at his snowy masterpiece, a rush of pride warming him more than any fire. So what do you think? Would you want a winter treehouse like this of your own? Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you won't miss any of our next exciting house building videos. Finally, share your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next adventure.